Hi, here's some help with page 59 from the Math Supplement. So you're being asked to spell these chords, seventh chords, and there's no sharps or flats anywhere, so you're going to have to add accidentals as required to spell these chords correctly. Now the key to this is remembering that we're comparing to the white note form of the chord, or the major 7 form of the chord, either way. And you need to know your chord formulas in order to do this. You need to know that a major 7 chord is 1, 3, 5, 7, that a dominant chord is 1, 3, 5, flat 7, that a minor 7 chord is 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, and then a minor 7 flat 5 chord is 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. So once you know that, it's not that difficult to figure out what notes to use, because you're comparing it to the major, which is the form that's 1, 3, 5, 7. So here we have a C major. You think in that key. So you think in the key of C major 7, C major 7. It's all white notes, all unaltered notes, C, E, G, and B. And then you come over here to the dominant chord, and you know that instead of 1, 3, 5, 7, you need 1, 3, 5, flat 7. So you need to flat this note in order to create the sound of a dominant 7th chord. You can even just by listening, you can notice that all these chords sound the same at this point. So the chord symbol is not truly representing what they sound like right now. We've got to change these notes to match the chord symbol. So as we were just pointing out, this is 1, 3, 5, 7. This is going to be the formula for this chord is 1, same as the major 7, 3, same as the major 7, 5, same as the major 7, but flat 7, not a major 7. So we flat that, and now that is the sound. Those are the correct notes, and that is the sound of a C7 chord, a C dominant 7th chord. And we come over here, and we know that our formula is 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. So the 1 is the same, the 3 needs to be flatted, oops, the 5 stays the same, and the 7 needs to be flatted. And then you have the sound of a minor 7 chord. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. We come over here, and we know that we have to flat the 3, flat the 5, and flat the 7. And now we have the sound of a minor 7 flat 5 chord. So now you can hear they all sound quite different. Different one. Let's try this this line here, D major, the D line. Now, since the approach that we're taking to spelling the chords here is the white note method, that is, we're looking for the white note version of the chord, and then we're figuring out the other chords from there. So we know from our knowledge of the key of C that the 2 minor 7 chord in the key of C is D minor 7. So we know that this chord with no sharps or flats is going to be a D minor 7, because that's what naturally occurs in C major scale. 1 major 7 is C major 7, and 2 minor 7 is D minor 7. And of course in the key of C there are no sharps and flats. So we know that this chord is correctly spelled. It's a D minor 7 in its natural form here. So then we figure out the other chords from there. So we know that our formulas, we know that for a D dominant 7th chord we need to have, instead of 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, we need 1, 3, 5, flat 7. So we know that that note is going to be different. So instead of being a flat 3, it's got to be a major third, so we have to put it up a half step. And then the rest of the notes are the same. 1 is the same. The 3 has been changed. That's a flat 3. That's a minor third. This is a major third. The 5th is going to be the same, and they both have flat 7s. That is, minor 7s. And we come over to our major chord, and we know that our major chord needs to have a major third, unlike the minor chord here. And we know that it has a perfect 5th, just like these other two chords. And we know that it has to have a major seventh, not a minor seventh like these two chords. So we have to put that one up a half step. And then finally we come over to this one, and we know the root will be the same. We know the third is a minor third, so it's going to be just like the minor 7 chord here. We know the fifth is not a perfect fifth, but a flat fifth. And we know the seventh is a minor seventh, like that, so that's unaltered. And using that technique, we're able to spell all the chords. If you use that technique, you'll be able to get through all these chords. Down at the bottom, you have to identify chords. Now in this case, if you're using the white note method, you simply think of the notes as being all natural, figure out what it would be if all the notes were natural, and then see how it's different from that to arrive at the correct answer. For example, if this was nothing but natural notes, it would be C, E, G, B, just like the 1 chord in the key of C major, so it would be C major 7. But the B is in fact flat, it's not a B natural, so that tells us that the 7th has been flatted. So instead of being 1, 3, 5, 7, it's 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And you ask yourself, well, what kind of chord has a formula of 1, 3, 5, flat 7? And hopefully you realize that that's a dominant chord, so this is a C7 chord. And you just go on like that. You imagine this chord is all natural notes, what would it be? And then what does it become once this note has been sharpened? What would this be if it was all natural notes? And then what does it become when this note has been flatted? And so on.